Greetings once again to all the fellow creatures on Earth, and welcome to the Quantum Cafe and the Interstellar Lounge, your home base, your central hub from every wild topic under the metaphysical sun, from energy, frequency healing, to downloads from the galactic central sun. It's a pretty amazing space to be, and it's a full conversations and also insights, wisdoms, teachings, and metaphysical practices that you can use in your own home, talking about different tools, different ascension symptoms, awakening processes, a little bit of everything. I've been doing these videos now. I believe I started my channel just at the beginning of 2019, so we're getting close onto the 5-year solar year mark, which is quite incredible. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I appreciate you being here. My name is Derek Pennett. I'm a Lightbody technician, which means I put all your metaphysical parts back into working order. I do solo sessions here at the Star Temple where I'm recording this video, my healing space, and I do transformational packages, workshops. I set up booths out in the community at different spiritual markets, etc., etc. So it's kind of a one-stop hub for helping you transform and illuminate your being. So yeah, Lightbody technician, Reiki master teacher, and metaphysician. I'm also an aura scanning specialist. I do etheric chiropractica work in the auric field and trained in distance healing as well too. So it's an absolute divine pleasure to be here, and yeah, got some awesome topic to talk about today, so we're going to dive right in. But just before that, depending on when you watch this video, we're at the bookends of another eclipse portal. So we have September 17th, lunar eclipse in Pisces. We're wrapping up our Virgo season, right? Sun in Virgo, slowly moving into the Libra season as well. Our divine acts of service. We got the eclipse building up those alien-like energies, the capsules getting ready to cap and then release. And all sorts of new photonic energies on the planet. This one's lunar, so it'll be a little bit more emotional. The solar ones are a little bit more mental or solar plexus related, outside of yourself, actions and activities as well. And then we have the fall equinox. This is all about harvesting on this one. What are we keeping? What are we discarding, right? Got to sift through everything and go, what are the higher quality elements that I want to keep? And what are the other ones that are no longer needed as well, too? So it's pretty exciting. And then we have Pluto retrograde into Capricorn. And Pluto's been in Aquarius for various times in this year. And after the middle of November, then it's going to be in Aquarius for 20 full solar years. And those are the two most radical signs, planets meeting up and having one heck of a dance, right? Uranus rules Aquarius. This is going to be a heck of an adventure. We haven't had this occur since the United States, USA, formed as a country. So pretty wild stuff. So this is quite a big adventure. There's going to be lots of paradigm shifts, big changes and stuff happening as well too. Okay. So that said, I'm going to start off with the topic today and dive right in. Periodically, I like to do one of the main healing tools that I use outside of universal life force energy that gets admitted from my hands onto the clients in my sessions is working with crystals. Crystals are so powerful and in some cases highly underrated for the healing properties that they do. They could be sitting on a shelf, over at somebody's house. They might just like the geology, how it looks, not really thinking much into the energy work, and it's doing its resonance and changing through the frequencies as it goes. So it's quite incredible. It's doing stuff regardless if our conscious awareness is aware of it or not. I like to pick high, powerful crystals that are wonderfully sourced and open up the dialogue for the wonderful communications about the transmissions they bring in, the wisdoms, and what they do to interact and to heal with the body. But the main tips with crystals when you're working with them is hold them until they get warm to the touch. Then you've just started to activate them. You can't just put it in your hand and go, I don't feel anything. You got to continuously work with them regularly. Place them on different spots on the body as they feel appropriate. Match up the chakra color with the color of the crystal. That's kind of like intro level basics, but it works wonderfully on the human energy field. And you can make grid works around the body. Some people buy different plates that you can purchase, and they'll have you can get round ones. They'll have sacred geometry on them, maybe like Flower of Life, Metatron's Cube, various forms like that, Sri Yantra, and you can bring them in and then place your crystals on there. You could set them up on an altar. You can make it for like a transmission portal. There's so much you can do with the body, but you want to warm it to the touch, then focus your conscious attention on where you're directing it to in the body as well too. So the crystal I'm going to bring in today is a very special and powerful crystal. This was one of the very first crystals that it was the first crystal that I used in my the beginning of my energy healing practice. There was a shelf of crystals, and I was living with a being at the time, and I asked them, I was like, I'd really love to be able to use a crystal in my session, right? And they pointed over to the shelf and they said, choose one. You can have any one that you choose to have in your sessions. And what did I select? I selected green apophyllite. Hopefully that'll focus in there in a sec. So there's apophyllite, and then it comes in a few other colors and different forms as well too. So green apophyllite is pretty special. We'll hear about it in as we read about it a little bit. And I got a passageway that I'd like to share with you. So this component that I'm sharing will be said again, but it is the crystal that is par excellence for working with Reiki practitioners. At the time of just the synchronicities, my jaw dropped. I'm like, wow, thank you. And I didn't find out that information until many months after using it. But when we follow our intuition and we're guided to select the crystals that want to resonate and work with us, and we take the time to hold each piece before we bring it home, wherever we end up getting it, from a metaphysical shop, maybe we're traveling and there's a market and a booth, you never know where it's going to come from. Could be a crystal vendor, all sorts of stuff. You want to take the time to make sure that you resonate with that as well too, to put it into your field, okay? So I'm going to dive into some of the medicines. I'll be reading a little bit here, and then we will chat a little bit about as we go, about what some of these healing properties, transmissions, and spiritual energetics mean for each crystal, okay? So quite commonly with apophyllite, you're going to find it in clear, white, green, yellowish, and peach colors. Now on the back side of my crystal here too, you can see that it's got a lot of the rock formations that it was built upon. So you can get them in various forms. Sometimes they'll be in polished form as well too. That's a little bit about what mine has as well. They tend to be a cubic or a pyramidal crystal as well too. So that's a lot of its crystalline structure that you find in its forms. And you can get them as single crystals, or you can find them in clusters as well too. It is readily available. There's a lot of apophyllite out there. I'm a big proponent of not digging up everything on the planet and then turning it into piecemeal and selling it all over the place, in terms of the human experience, that we just have to put a value on everything that is monetary. However, we do need to bring up a whole bunch of these crystals at this time, because they have been basking in our consciousness for well over 500 million years, developing, operating, forming, learning, growing, and it's a storehouse for everything that we experienced. So all the crystals together make up the entirety of the human consciousness and our existence as well too. So there's a crystal to support you in every realm you could possibly think of, from your mental body right down to inflammation, okay? So there's something there. The most common places to find them quite regularly, where they're sourced from, is Britain, Australia, India, Brazil, Czech Republic, and Italy, as we currently name those countries right now. Now in the next section, we're going to go into the attributes and talk a little bit deeper about what apophyllite is all about. So apophyllite has a very high water content, which makes it an efficient conductor of energy. Our entire being is made up of energy, frequencies, and vibrations. We're multidimensional plasma. So this water connects to that form, and we are mostly water, right? And it is a carrier of the Akashic records. So this is a record of everything that has ever occurred. The universe it's not watching over you, it's keeping tabs of everything so that it can be accessed in that database. And this field It's like going on the computer and you access the cosmic internet, right? So you access the internet, and then the Akashic Records is more like the cosmic internet. And there's a library for you, a library for all of your oversoul, library for the planet that you're on, the collective, the solar system, the other dimensions, all forms of the universe. It's quite spectacular. So this opens up the Akashic Records and then prepares the field to bring in more information about what's been occurring. So if anybody out there has had experiences with feeling their past lives, future lives, lived on another planet, something going through the bloodlines, this is a good crystal to use for that as well too. For Akashic Record stuff, take more time with it. This isn't going to happen in 5 minutes. Spend 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, a few times, in a week's span to really open up that field, because you don't want to rush the information, and it takes a little bit more time and dedication to really dive deep into what's surfacing, and then pay attention to the memories, thoughts, and feelings that you have as you're receiving information as well too. It's going to come in a wide variety of forms. Now, its presence in a room. So if you have Apophyllite in a room, it enhances the energies, and it is a powerful vibrational transmitter. So it's going to change the frequencies in the room and raise its vibratory content. And then it transmits them to whatever beings are in the room. So it's great also for room cleansing as well too. Apophyllite creates a conscious connection between the physical and the spiritual realms. Now, if you are using Apophyllite during an out-of-body journey, maybe you're going on a guided meditation, you're practicing some astral traveling projection, your consciousness is journeying quite deep, and you're finding yourself daydreaming, and you're going somewhere. Take Apophyllite, bring it into your field, means close to the body or on the body, and it will assist with those out-of-body journeys. But what it's going to do is it's going to keep a strong connection right here down with the physical plane, with the physical body, allowing the information to then be transmitted more accurately, more clearly from the spiritual realm, and then it's going to come down and intermix itself into the physical plane of existence. The spiritual stone enhances clear sight, clairvoyance, seeing through your eyes, seeing it clearly and accurately for what it is. Not what we think it is, not what society has told us what it was, but what it actually is. And on occasion, society is exactly dead on, right where they need to be in terms of what it is. But in this age specifically, this is the age of illusion. And so it stimulates intuition, taps into your own intuitive source. That inner knowing, that feeling, and enabling the future to be accessed. Because past and present and future, they all happen in the now simultaneously. Time is all conjoined. If we were meeting here, the Star Temple, at 5 o'clock, okay? The time zone that I'm currently in, and you got here at 5 o'clock too, we did not arrive here at the exact same time. So, okay, I'll clarify that. We got here at 5 o'clock at the same time, but the amount of time that it took for us to get here is radically different. It's not the same time signature and never will be the same twice. But we always end up in that now together. And so when we access the future we bring in those future timelines. It's always like, well, what did I experience in the past? Sometimes the future came before us. You could have a lifetime on another planet that was in the past but came after this lifetime. Right? Went to Earth 2,000 years ago, but it was the lifetime after the one I'm currently experiencing. So it gets pretty wild that way. It's pretty awesome. I love these multidimensional chats, so thanks for joining in with me. And it's an excellent stone for scrying. So holding it when you're staring into something. Maybe you're looking into like a clear quartz crystal ball. Perhaps you're scrying into some fractals on the wall. The ocean and watching it move. The leaves falling off a tree when it's making that fractaline form. Anytime you're scrying into something, specifically, I like the Voyager Tarot for that, as well as the Metamorphosis Oracle deck that I've created. Those are all about scrying and going deep. There's so many images to look at and your consciousness just goes and goes, and you keep finding new stuff along the way. Psychologically, Apophyllite promotes introspection into one's own behavior, and then the correction of imbalances of flaws that are perceived from going in and taking that deep dive, so that we can change those core root patterns, lift them up to the surface so that they can be healed. If they're buried deep inside of us and we're not taking a full look at them, that's not going to assist with them being healed, being changed, being altered, so they can turn into more illuminated forms. Apophyllite's going to give it a bit of a push and going to say, hey, we're knocking at your door. Are you noticing? Are you witnessing? And so this is a stone of truth. So while holding this stone, it's not that you can't say a lie, but it's going to want the truth to come out. And that's going to be like, if you don't speak the truth, it's going to show you in your environment where it's not being spoken, and in you where you can make those changes to be more accurate to your experiences and what's taking place. And knowing that if you don't, you're going to feel something inside of you that doesn't quite feel right. And it bringing recognition of one's true self and allowing that to be shown out to the world, so that you're not holding yourself back in terms of who you truly are and the truth that you think and feel. We're so offended these days by anybody thinking outside of the box, anybody posing something a little bit more what we call radical, right? And it's about being open to that. It's just a thought and an opinion. That's it. It's not like actions being taken place majority of the time. Now it does occur, of course. But in the multidimensional field, it's a way for everybody to express themselves fully. Oh, these certain people in the room, I'm going to hold this back now and not be who I truly am. Maybe in certain cases that's best, depending on what the reaction will be from that person. But quite often, we're holding ourselves back regularly. So Apophyllite supports us in such a beautiful crystalline way to unlock those multidimensional doorways to truth. Mentally, so in the mental sphere, in the mind, Apophyllite has a calming effect. It is an effective stress reducer, releasing mental blockages and negative thought patterns. So it's rewiring our subconscious mind, taking us to look at the thoughts, the feelings, the memories, the words that we're using, and the chatter. So much mental chatter going on these days. And it helps pull it down, and if it's too low, it's going to bring it back into equilibrium. It is the effect of reducing desire. And we're not talking like, you just know, like, oh, I really want to go for a bike ride right now. That'd just be great for my entire being, wellness, the whole bit. The stuff was like, I desire that, and I'm going to go for that. It kind of pulls it back and goes, okay, cool, right? That's that whole lust. Pulling it back into spectrum so you can think about it before you make the action. And it wants to reduce it too, so we're not called upon to do that action if it's not supporting our highest good. At a spiritual level, Apophyllite imbues universal love into analysis and the decision-making process so that the mind becomes attuned to spirit. And when we're attuned that way, then when we make our decisions, our actions, speak our truth, share our mental thoughts, everything has been filtered through universal love, so it comes out in a more cohesive way that benefits all beings around, and also helps us make a more higher vibrational choice. Emotionally, for the big emotions that come up, Apophyllite wants to release, move them where they're lodged in the body, which chakra, where in front of the cells, what parts are they in our back, and inside the Kundalini channel in the spine, and it wants to bring them out, shake it up a little bit so we can move it and dislodge it from the spots that it's located, and then have it come out to play. It overcomes anxiety, worries, and fears. So a great tool for toning and powering up the nervous system. It calms apprehension and allows uncertainty to be tolerated. Spiritually, this stone calms and grounds the spirit. It has a strong links to the spiritual realm, while at the same time allowing you to feel comfortable in your body. So to go as far as, like so many beings I work with, I want to go out into the cosmos, but I just kind of feel like, on at ease when I'm going in those journeys. Like, am I going to come back to my body? How far can I really journey and it be safe? Those multidimensional aspects are going to make me look at myself, promote a healing process. Yeah, it's big stuff. But it's also exciting stuff. We've programmed society to look at that stuff as being just all the time challenging, hard. I don't want to look at them. There's no benefits from doing it. If I don't do that stuff, this stuff will be easier. It's actually the other way around. When you don't do it, it becomes even more difficult in every other aspect of your reality. Once you're powered up, it's very easy to make decisions, stay into alignment. Once in a while, you get knocked off course just a little bit, but it's so quick and easy, and then you bounce right back on, right? But it takes long-term dedication, perseverance, spiritual maturity, and integrity as well, too. Okay, where was I? We're going off on transmissions. This is awesome. Out of body spiritual vision. So it wants you to tap into your own spiritual vision so that you can bring forth that wisdom, so that you can bring forth that knowledge, and then bring it into you to be shared in whatever ways. You might be journaling, it might be your own inner knowing, you might be called to write a book, you might be sharing it just as you have general chats with your friends and your family, etc., etc. With its connection to the Akashic records that we talked about earlier, the cosmic internet, it eases journeys into past lives, right? Making it a nice, smooth transition to go there. We might uncover some really nasty stuff, some intense moments that happen, some beautiful times. There's so much magic and wonder and excitement and intensity all through its entire spectrum. But remember, with the Akashic records, when you want that information, you gotta command it. You gotta ask it and request. What are you looking for? Ask it a question. But don't harper on it. Don't grasp. Just ease into it. Ask, set it, and forget. Now, as far as direct healing goes on the body, Apophyllite, as I was saying before, is regarded as the stone par excellence to assist in Reiki healing practices. What it does is it facilitates the patient to enter a deeper relaxation state. It's like yin, parasympathetic, and receptiveness, and at the same time takes the healer more out of the way so that the transmissions of the healing energy to the patient is purer. Quite incredible. Now, Apophyllite also works on the respiratory system. So great for the lungs, breathing, and prana. Right? The air element, which also does relate to the mental body as well too. And when held to the chest, you hold it up to your chest, it can stop an asthma attack when it's getting very severe. Hold it up, somebody goes to their inhaler, they go to whatever medications they're using. Some people don't even have that stuff. They might have an analgesic balm that helps open up the chest. There's a lot of different forms of support structures that we have. Might be a tincture, tea, cream, and such. You can also use Apophyllite and put it right up to the affected areas, particularly the chest. It neutralizes allergies. So if you have allergies, it helps working with them and neutralizing them. You got to use Apophyllite lots. If you're using a tincture every single day to help with allergies, then you need to use Apophyllite daily. It's not, I pulled it up once and they didn't go away. And the regeneration of the mucous membranes, right, and the skin. Placing Apophyllite crystal on each of your eyes rejuvenates the eyes. Pretty awesome. So you want to help with vision or keep things from getting more intense. That is a great pathway to travel down. And placing of your Apophyllite is especially useful in healing matters of the spirit and in helping spirit come to terms with the physical body. It's pretty amazing stuff. Because sometimes we're not so comfortable in the body. I've also had many beings that I've worked with, beings out in the community, where they just don't want to be here. They're not comfortable in this human vessel. Perhaps maybe they had more lifetimes off this planet, not in a human body, than when they were here. There's a lot of uncovering to unravel in those scenarios. Now, position on the body you can place as appropriate, so anywhere you feel called to. But single Apophyllite pyramids, if you can locate one of those, can be placed on the third eye when you're channeling or meditating or receiving spiritual downloads. So it'll increase that value. And when scrying, so looking into something, look into the crystal from the corner of the eye. Pretty amazing. So the one that we were just talking about there was green apophyllite. That's the one that I showed you. So it has a couple other properties when you add green into the mix. So it activates the heart chakra, makes sense with the green color, and promotes a forthright heart, especially regarding decisions and matters of everything to do with the central heart. It absorbs and then transmits the universal energy. The stone opens up the vortice, the plane of existence, fourth plane of existence of the heart chakra, and allows absorption of universal life force energies, which is the energy of everything. All other forms of energy that you've heard about, chi, ki, ka, reiki, morphogenetic fields, scalar waves, they're all under the banner of universal life force energy. They're a subsection. It helps those undertaking firewalking. So if you ever had somebody who's done a firewalk, whoa, I can't even imagine doing that. But at the same time, I can imagine it. And it's amazing that some beings are just super connected to it. So in the realms of firewalking, if you've ever taken that journey or want to take that journey, it facilitates a meditative state and cools the feet after you do the walk. It releases hypnotic commands. So programming, various forms of mind control, brainwashing, right? And other control mechanisms from present or past lives, which could include negative implants that have been placed into the body, right? There's positive ones and negative ones. They're energetic. Some are physical. Majority of the time they're energetic. Apophyllite pyramids, if you get it in that form, very cool stuff. They are powerful energizers. They enhance spiritual vision and open up your third eye. Looking through the base of the pyramid, so the bottom fraction, towards the apex. So you hold it up, triangles pointing outward, and it opens up a stargate. Oh my gosh. Like all pyramids, they have powers of preservation and can be used to charge up other objects or crystals. If you make apophyllite into elixir, which I do have them at my healing space, a vibrational elixir, which is the crystal energetics going into water, to the energies of them. Made into an elixir, apophyllite pyramids bring light and energy and restore that vitality to the frequencies of your heart. Pretty amazing. Again, every time I do these crystal transmissions, pick one specific crystal, and there's a whole host of healing qualities that go forth with it. The idea for the crystal videos is to help explain and work through what these crystals are all about, inspire and illuminate everyone to get involved, to use them, and to have them into their field, and to realize how much more grand they really are, and the amazing healing properties that we have just waiting at our doorstep. Not in all cases, but quite often, the money energy exchange is not that high. I want to thank you all once again for joining in on the Quantum Cafe and the Interstellar Lounge with your host here, the Cosmic Messenger. It is a divine pleasure to be here with everyone and sharing in these transmissions once again. If any of you have had amazing experiences with apophyllite crystal or some other ones, but specifically apophyllite for this one, please comment down in the video below and share your experiences with it as well too. I'm going to put my link down at the end of the video. If anybody needs any in-person or distance, I'm in Victoria, BC on Vancouver Island. Metaphysical energy healing. It's quite an amazing adventure. Like, you're with me for a couple hours when you have a session and we go through it. You get an email report. You're laying on a 5 therapy mat. Even if you're distance, you still feel all of the transmissions. I do them live over video and you're there in the room with me just like we're doing it in person. And there's metaphysical music, artwork. I have an oracle deck as well too. So head over to Linktree/The Cosmic Messenger to check out all of my links, my website, and the whole bit. And I deep gratitude for all of the amazing beings who continue to support, check out these videos, and be inspired by anything that's being broadcasted. Thank you all for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Get ready for the eclipses. I believe we have another one on October 2nd and 3rd for the bookends. So power up and roll out. Have a great day, everyone. We'll talk to you again soon.